so that a person is able to speak the truth. Nobody should be punished for speaking the truth. Sometimes then people have to say the lie to escape. Governments cannot continue to operate like that. So God is the only absolute legislature. Every rulers and every legislative bodies, they are there, they are delegated, their duty is to make sub-laws that on human realm will be able to execute these absolute rules. That's what it is. God only gives the broad rules. Then man has to make sub rules that will make that absolute rule in the day-to-day execution. And man is accountable to God. How he does it? Because God demands. Delegation, one of the principles of delegation is anytime an authority is delegated, a job is delegated, how that person does that one, he has to give an account. The Lord in many of the parables said that the king gave talents to different people, went away. When he came back, he called them and said, give me an account. It's my money, I gave into your hand to deal it. I need an account how you dealt that money. So these people, the governments, they are given God's authority, portion of God's authority to, to execute these things. God demands them. Tell me, how did you do it? Whether have you interfered in these spiritual areas? Have you interfered in the family life? Have you made any laws that made people impossible to, ethically operate? And all those things. God asked them. Income tax and sales tax, some people say income tax rules are so much that sometimes people, you make 1 lakh, now income tax levels are gone, this government is going to bring it up to 5 lakhs, I heard. Well, for good or for bad, in a poor country like this, that's a different matter, but whatever it is, But someday before it was, government takes away more than half of what you have. I could never understand why they made law. You pay income tax, right? You pay 30% to government. The other 70% is yours. With that one, you went and bought some cement, you have to pay tax over there. With that one, you build a building, then you have to pay tax on building. So what is it? When you divide and all that, you don't get anything, even not 10%, you don't get it. Everything. It's a tax paid, my clear money. I buy shirt with it. Do I have to pay tax again on it? So what government is doing is, with their right hand they give you money, with the left hand they take it all away. So people have learned how not to give.
Back.
That's what it is. People have learned not to give. So they will falsify this account, that account and all these things. Business people know how not to give. Income tax people, they know how to squeeze out. But these business people know how not to, give it out. And so there is a continuous, fight between the departments. And this should not be there. The rules must be made very, very simple. I like the Gulf countries. No income tax, no sales tax, nothing. Now they begin to bring that there. They say they need, but basically they never had anything. You go to Gulf, Dubai, you can buy anything, no sales tax, no income tax, nothing. What you make is yours. Government gets money through many other methods.
Our country is one of the most largest paying taxes in the world.
One of the
largest the highest paying taxes in the world. And we are famous for it.
Okay. There are average citizens' life should be safeguarded. Government should not be a terror to those who do good. Government should be a help in doing good. That's what government should be. So we need to educate people sometimes, I mean, in a country where Christianity is a minority, I mean, believers are such a minority, whether we have time to go get involved in politics or we don't have even time to get involved in the spiritual things. But in a country like a Christian country, so-called Christian country, these principles must be. But in those Christian countries also these principles are not followed. It's very difficult. So absolute legislature is God, sub-legislatures are the governments. Whether it's municipality, whether it's state government, whether it's panchayat, whoever may be, whatever law they make, those laws should not contradict or abrogate the absolute laws God has made. And in the areas of religion, family, those areas the government should not make only laws that will guarantee the smooth functioning, should not be interfering. The sad thing is anti-conversion law. Why should government make anti-conversion law? You could be a communist, or you could be a Congress, or you could be an RSS, but you cannot be a Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim. In any political system you can change, but in your faith you cannot change. Why? If you are convinced that Jesus Christ is the true God, you cannot believe in Him. Why religion has to be thrust upon him by birth? A child is not born with any religion. The Bible's language, that which is born from the flesh is flesh. You walk into the hospital, you see all the kind of in the maternity ward you go, there are so many children are there. Can you look at the children only without seeing the parents and say this is a Hindu child? You cannot. Why you make the child Hindu? Let the child grow. You teach whatever you want, that's fine. But never say you don't have the freedom to believe what is right. That's wrong. Governments don't have that rule. Especially when our Lord Jesus Christ, the absolute ruler, said, go into all the world and preach this gospel. Government should not make it. Any government, therefore, that will bring that sort of rules, the government is going to suffer. System, definitely. So any system or systems that deny God's absolute legislative power or position will fail, and people will suffer under those rulers. Yes. Muslim countries, there was a time they were fighting against non-Muslims, but they're killing each other now. Look everywhere. They're killing each other. Why? Because this is bound to happen. It's bound to happen. You begin to hate other religions, and then other religions cannot function there. The hatred is still there. Then you will channel all your hatred against your own people on some minor difference. That's what it is. On some minor difference. The freedom God had given to know the truth, and the truth will make you free. The person must be free to listen to understand, and to make decisions on that. Government should not interfere. So governments fail because they do not acknowledge the dignity or the absolute authority of God on one hand. On the other hand, the dignity of man created in the image of God. When governments acknowledge that man is created in the image of God and therefore there is certain amount of dignity to man, that dignity government cannot interfere, should not do anything. Don't treat man like animals. Man should be treated like human beings created in the image of God. See our jail system. They are treating not human beings as human beings. Animals are better there. The police dog, holds a higher position than a man there, No, I'm not saying they should be treated, they're criminals, they must be treated criminals, but they should not be treated subhuman. And that sort of treatment, all these things come because of that, How police, deal with people in these jails, the abuses, the American, the Guatemala, all those stories, everybody knows it. How much brutality, psychological terror, physical violence beyond imagination. Why? But this is a human being. If he has done a crime that is worthy for death, then capital punishment. Give him the punishment with dignity, let him die with dignity. He should not be abused. So all these things, this is all happens because governments do not recognize certain basic truths. Why this happened? Because of evolution, because of communism, systems that deny the existence of God. When man is only an animal evolved, then you will treat him as an evolved animal. It is one animal dealing with another animal. That's what it is. But a lion catching a deer, that lion will not do any unnecessary abuse. It will catch there and as soon as possible silently cause the death. It will never take pride in causing pain to that animal unnecessarily. It's only man. It's only man. So when man believes that he is an evolved being, then it's one animal treating another animal. But when we believe that man is created in the image of God and every man is created, then when I deal with a man, I'll be very careful. That's what James says. You cannot curse a man created in the image of God and then turn and worship God, the Creator. That's got inconsistent. If you really believe that God created man in his image, then while after worshipping God, you cannot curse this man because you are cursing one who is created in the image of God. No, you cannot. It is like, you will praise Mahatma Gandhi, turn around and see his picture there, spit on it. You respect Mahatma Gandhi, but you abuse his image. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So the failure of man, in our legal system, the failure is because we do not accept the absolute, authority and the absolute legislature. God is the absolute legislator who made those rules. When we refuse to accept them, we do all these problems. Since God exists and legislates, any society that ignores God's person and God's authority, they will be stepping out of the realm of reality. You look at such nations, marriage failed, social failures in every political, authorities fail. They are not only marriage, system, divorces come, abortions come, and all these things. Talk about euthanasia and all these things. Why we talk about all these things? We lost respect for man. That's why we talk about all these things. In a decent society, you won't talk about killing people. You will be talking about saving people. That's what we will be. So as long as we believe that the authorities on the earth are delegated and the absolute authority rests in the absolute person, and that is God. And God has already made absolute rules and regulations, and all delegated legislatures and authorities, they can only make sub-laws so that God's absolute rule will be smoothly carried out on the human realm. That's where our governments will exist nicely. Oh, when will that come? When such a system will come? Even among the Jewish people, they, from time to time, some of the rulers abused, but good rulers always, what God said, they will go to the Bible and they will read the Bible passage, and the law will be that. That should be our system also, John Calvin tried to execute that in Switzerland, in Geneva. Yes. Yes, Calvin's church. And that some people have problem with that. Because they wanted to execute the biblical laws, especially some of the Old Testament law and all that. So any state that ignores God's will and promote arbitrary laws, causing great suffering for people, they will lose the respect of the people. In democracy, those government will be removed by people in the next election. Today, most of the nations have democracy. That's what happens. So democracy can exist only by pleasing the people. To please the people, the first and the foremost thing is safeguarding a smooth, peaceful life atmosphere. So every law must be there to support life. The personal freedom, the family freedom, the religious freedom, and all these things will be safeguarded. Government should not make laws contrary to those. When fundamental principles of law are undermined, public confidence in law and public willingness to obey the law will be lost. People rebel because fundamental principles of the law are. What's the fundamental principle? Law is to prevent evil and to promote goodness. That's a fundamental principle. And that fundamental principle is absolute law is made by God, and on the human realm it is delegated. Therefore, we only make sub-laws in harmony with the absolute law. And the intention is to make life more easy and more comfortable for those who wanted to obey the law and do good. And law should be a terror for others who violate it. So this is very, very important, very, very important. This is the basic premises of the law. If the lawgivers don't respect this, then definitely there will be problem. Now you may have some questions. I may stop there simply because my notes finished. You have any questions on what I said? What's the nature of law? What is the purpose of law?
Not directly.
Yeah.
Regarding this one, what is the role of the lawyers? Because can a lawyer be completely honest and
Yes. Lawyers can be completely honest and true in a system that operates completely honestly and truthfully.
That's from a lawyer.
But among all professions, the legal profession is the most truthful profession, they say. Because 50% of the truth will be there. One will be saying he killed, the other says that he didn't kill. One of the two is true. So one of the lawyer will be speaking truth. No, I think our system, this is a problem. A lawyer should never defend a wrongdoer. Never. The lawyer should be, a murderer comes and confess before the lawyer that I have committed murder. These are the situations. Then the lawyer's duty is to bring the minimum punishment that is allowed by law in a situation, taking into consideration about, maybe his age, the first offender, maybe he was provoked to do it, or maybe his presence is needed by the old mother, and there's many, many factors. But the lawyer should never say that my party did not do the killing. No, say that, yes, he did it. So I believe that's what it should be. The criminal lawyers are not doing it. They're just doing just the opposite of it. The civil lawyers have no problem. They're usually based upon document, the land, deeds and rights and all those things. They will have a constitutional lawyers and, maybe immigration lawyers and the passport or the visa. These things, they don't have to falsify. But a criminal law is terrible. It's terrible. Who is a good criminal lawyer? One who can prove the murderer is not a murderer. That's what it is. That's terrible. So legal system, our whole system is corrupt. Our whole system is corrupt. I'm not speaking against any particular judge, but even there was a time when the judges were, Supreme Court judges or High Court judges, they could never be bribed or bought. The question was out. But today we hear about scandals of Supreme Court and High Court judges taking bribery, amassing money, unethically and all these things. So in a system like that, how can we expect the lawyers to be? And the large amount of money they make, lawyers, how much money they take. Good lawyers in Supreme Court, they charge up to 1 lakh rupees, 1 and 2 lakhs rupees for just 1 hour. That's their fees. It's more than that. Yeah. It depends upon, the huge amounts, huge amount. So by the time a good case will be there, they will be charged at least for 10-15 hours. Fees and all that. It's a lot of money they're taking. If they are do it honestly, they won't be paid for it. Because you never pay very high for speaking the truth. It is all for laundering the, black money. The same way the black case. You want to launder it and make it the white case. So, maybe in the millennium, I don't know whether there will be lawyers in the millennium. I do not know. But if there are lawyers in the millennium, the lawyers will be saying to them, yes, my client has committed it. This is the situation. Well, he was provoked. He had this temperamental problem. He is guilty. But in the given situation, not the maximum punishment law demands for that case, but the minimum punishment must be given. Yes. That sort of, it will be a miracle if a lawyer in our system will come. I think that there was was it Mahatma Gandhi? Somebody was there. When a criminal comes, he tried to reform the criminal. I read about some lawyer who will say that, you have committed, this, you have no right to get justice, so you admit, I will get you the minimum punishment, try to get it, But if such a situation really existed, then it's a rare incident. Because that lawyer won't get any case. Yes. Forget about the law. When some believers in the church does something wrong and we try to correct him, how to get the truth out of him. Very seldom people will come say, brother, I have done it, I'm sorry. They usually say, no. If they try to say that, then you bring out the evidences. That's the first question. You got any evidence for it? So if believers will admit only their mistake when the evidences are there, what do you expect from the unbelievers and who doesn't even believe in God? So this is the problem. It's really a problem. Any other question?
But then how to reform the system?
Well, you
Is it
talk about
reformable?
it's not easily reformable. No, it's not easily. One of the advantages of a monarchy was the monarchical systems. These things could be more reformable. In democracy, it's very difficult because the ruler is representing the people. So, how can a righteous person represent bunch of thieves? Who are the people who elect them? See, we sometimes say that, criminals are becoming, elected and all. Well, criminals are elected because criminals are voting. That's the reason. So our system cannot get the best of people. So democracy is very difficult. In monarchy and all that, oligarchy and all that, it's more possible because it is one man's will, basically, that's going to be. So if he's a clean administrator and he can say that, it's very severe punishment for anybody who is involved in this sort of thing, people will tend to slowly change. But that monarch is coming. He is coming. The day is coming.